Thanks for listening to English Go Podcast. If you'd like to listen without adverts, read episode transcripts, or listen to extra bonus episodes, please check the description for more details. Right, carrying on. Japan holiday part 6 coming up. Where was I? Oh yeah, I just finished bouncing up and down on trampolines and feeling absolutely exhausted. Right, so after that we went into a karaoke booth, or like a small room, a small private room for karaoke, and this was the first time that my parents had experienced like Japanese style karaoke. Why am I saying Japanese style karaoke? The reason is because in England karaoke is a very different thing. And no one really likes it. Well, I'm sure some people do, but I don't personally. I do not like English-style karaoke, which is normally, and I don't know how this happened or why this became a thing, but at some point in time, it might be like late 90s or early 2000s. It started to become a bit popular for pubs to get their own karaoke machines. So you'd have like a karaoke night at a pub. Now in Japan, to the best of my knowledge, most karaoke places are sort of private booths. I think you can get sort of like a more public karaoke place, where you're in there and you're singing with lots of people you don't know. But I think most of the time, they're these like small private rooms. Now, I don't know why anyone ever thought it was a good idea to put like a karaoke machine in a pub in England. But when I go into a pub in England, I just want to talk. I want to not just talk. I want to drink. I want to drink and I want to talk. What I don't want is to be deafened by some loud music and someone who can't sing very well. And the idea of combining alcohol and a karaoke machine in England just means people who normally wouldn't have the confidence to sing because they can't end up thinking they're great singers. And it doesn't sound very great, let's put it that way. Anyway, so I've never tried karaoke in England. I tend to avoid pubs that have karaoke nights. But yes, anyway. So the first time I tried karaoke was also in Japan. And it's a completely different experience. And I'm surprised by how much I enjoyed it. Because like I said, I'd never tried it before. So this was my parents' first experience of it, and yes, they also really enjoyed it too. And it is something I would recommend. It's just a bit of fun, It's just something a bit silly. I normally sing a few songs in a sort of silly accent just because it's fun. Yeah, just give it a go. Hire a private room out and see what you think. And there are lots of English songs on there. Well, actually, I don't know why I'm telling you this, because maybe you don't know English songs, but you've got Japanese songs and you've got English songs. So, I don't know. I'm sure you can find something that you can sing along with. Anyway, we also went to the bowling floor, and this was the best bowling experience I'd ever had. I mean, I've been bowling in England before. I don't know how many times. Not a lot, to be honest. It's not my favourite. I was going to say sport. Is it a sport? Does it class as a sport? It sort of doesn't feel like one. I think it probably is a sport. But it doesn't feel like a sport to me because you don't really put too much effort into it. You don't really get out of breath doing it, do you? Anyway. It was amazing. It was really good. It was bowling, so I don't think bowling is that amazing. But what was amazing was this place, how well it was looked after. And I've realised that all of my life going to these like bowling places in England, they were just like really poor experiences compared to this. The bowling lanes, the floors where you're rolling your bowling ball, they were amazingly shiny and well looked after. Like they'd really been, I don't know, did they wax them? Did they oil them? I don't know. But they were in really good condition. And when you picked up your bowling ball, you could sort of feel a bit of the oil on it. And I've never noticed that at any of the places I've been to. And also the bowling ball itself was in perfect condition. Like normally, if you go to some place in England, you get this bowling ball and it's got all of these chips in and it's got all of these cuts in, and it's it's just old and probably needs to be thrown away, to be honest, but it's not. So in England, you go to the bowling lane is, I don't know, it doesn't look shiny, and it might have a few dents in or something. It looks old, it looks tired. And like I said, the bowling balls look old and tired as well. But this was a different experience, and it was a different game. It changed the game because the floor was so shiny and so slippy that the ball would just move in a different way. So I enjoyed it a lot more than I normally would in England, and it was nice to see it done properly. And it just made me think about those greedy companies in England who don't properly look after their bowls or properly look after the bowling lanes. And they probably, they should do more like maintenance, like more repair work and stuff like that. They don't care. But English people don't know any difference. We just think this is what bowling is like. But yeah, what a different experience. After that, we went into another karaoke room. It's really weird. They had like karaoke rooms on two different floors, and the room we went into the second time was like a deluxe room. It was huge, with some giant screens on the wall, and we stayed in there for a bit, and that was a lot of fun. And then we went to what would you call it? Sort of like an amusement arcade, I guess. So it had all of these different games in, like a game center. It had, I don't know, what kind of games? Lots of computer games, like ones where you have a gun and you shoot something, or like like you've got guitars and you have to play a song, or there's a drum kit you have to play, or there's a dancing game, or there's racing games where you're sitting down in a car seat and you've got a wheel in front of you, and pedals to press. All of those kind of games, typical arcade games. And what else? There were some games I can't even explain because they're just weird. So I'll skip over those. And then they had like a whole floor just full of those sort of crane games, with which they called UFO catchers over here, where you just you press a button and you move this like arm, this crane sort of arm forwards, and you move it left or right or whatever, and it drops down, tries to pick something up, and then usually fails. It had like a whole floor just covered in these machines. I think we had like a couple of goes there, didn't win anything. And that was pretty much it. We did go on the rodeo machine, which is that like a electronic bull, a male cow that will try and throw you off its back. And let me tell you, seeing your parents ride a rodeo machine is very, very amusing. Everyone was laughing a lot. I don't think anyone was taking it seriously. No one's like, I'm going to get the best score here. I'm going to stay on it for the longest. It was just hilarious. It was just really funny. Because it looked so silly. That's why. I think I've talked about mostly everything that we did there. It ended up being a really fun day out. We spent a lot of time there because there was so much to do, and we still didn't do everything. We didn't get a chance to play on the sort of like snooker tables, the pool tables, billiards tables. I'm not sure which game it was, to be honest. And my father really wanted to go on the football game, the one where you sort of like kick the ball and you have to like kick it at different targets and see how skilled you are. But unfortunately, we didn't have time. There was that much to do there. And actually, one of the floors was closed because the very top floor was like an open floor. An open floor? Like a roof sort of floor. So, unfortunately, it was raining. It was bad weather because of the typhoon. So we couldn't do anything on the roof floor. We couldn't visit it. But, if that was open, there would have been even more things to do. So, a very interesting place. I would say we don't have anywhere quite like that in England. We've got bowling places, as I've talked about, and they're not very good. And we've got game centres, sort of, mostly at the seaside, to be honest. Sometimes you get them in a large shopping centre. But I can't think of anywhere that's got all of these things mixed together in one. So perhaps this is maybe it's unique to Japan, who knows? Or maybe there are other places like this around the world. I don't know. I just can't think of any in England, in the UK. But yeah, really fun day out. I think, to be perfectly honest, I probably would have enjoyed climbing Mount Fuji more because, it's a bit tiring, isn't it, climbing a mountain? But I think I probably would have enjoyed that experience a bit more if we were able to do it, climbing Mount Fuji and just seeing the views and, the whole experience, staying on the mountain overnight. Maybe, or maybe I wouldn't. It's hard to say. But I'm glad we did this in the end. And it was a fun day out, and it was a good, plan B, a good backup plan. So, until next time, bye-bye.
Hi, Icons. It's Danny Pellegrino from the pop culture podcast Everything Iconic, and I love Nordstrom. No place better to shop, particularly during the holiday season, because they have everything. They have holiday decor at Nordstrom. They have cozy cardigans from Barefoot Dreams, my fave. They have cold weather attire, party attire, plus free shipping and free returns, free store pickup. You can also purchase a recycled fabric gift bag so your item arrives festive and wrapped. So check out Nordstrom this holiday season, a one-stop shop. You can explore more at Nordstrom in-store or online at Nordstrom.com.